Figured I would get back on here and express some of it. We have fear everything and run, face everything and rise, no fear. So, that is one of the things that we covered in our last reading as well. Facing those fears, conquering those fears, overcoming those fears, playing that game. We have sacrificial lamb down here as well. At one point I was told to go through my father's pictures again. And there was messages coming in about don't turn your back on the lion. Well, my grandfather, in one of the pictures, had a lion behind him. And then in one of the pictures of me, there was some lamb stuff going on the TV. So, there's a lot of awakenings happening right now having to do with realizing and understanding some of the situations that happened with certain missing children or things like that. There's a lot of awakenings happening on the on children going missing, on children being abused, on different aspects like that. Also on how they've convinced some of them to go along with certain things as well. There's some awakenings on black magic that are going on currently too. There's some realizations dawning about how people covered all of that up in order to be able to hide our power from us and to use power against us in a lot of ways. Hi, Rashima. Nice to see you, beautiful. There is some awakenings going on as well surrounding your own children and your relationships with them. Other people's relationships with them. There's awakenings going on surrounding people with their connection with animals too. Don't look back now, one step at a time, keep moving forward. Warm hugs. Reciprocity. Reconciling, coming back together, equality, equal give and take, fond memories, root work. Thank you, Rashima. There could have been a private detective hired to look into certain things as well. To monitor you or those around you for some reason. There's awakenings that are leading to peace being made in your connections and with yourself. There's a lot of luck and abundance coming your way at this time as well. As you are waking up to some of these things and as you are stepping forward towards this path, there's going to be a lot showing up to show you to keep going. Some of you may be being asked to move from where you're at as well. To know that as you allow yourself to be blown through the winds of change, it's going to bring abundance in. So be confident in the steps that you're taking. There may be something here as well about changing your appearance in some way or about what you see in the mirror and whether or not that reflection is you. 777888. Transforming how you see yourself and how you see the world. And there may actually be a call for you to step up into a leadership role of some kind as well. To be seen and heard on a much larger scale. There could actually be something that has happened in your past that is getting ready to push you into that spotlight. And it's also going to help you realize, 444, without this happening in your life, specifically you, there wouldn't have been changes made. One of the things that's coming to mind is Adam Walsh. Adam Walsh completely transformed and changed the way that we handle missing children and the cases dealing with them. And I feel like there's going to be some new things coming out in the near future that are going to be causing us to re-examine that again and shift and change the way that we do things. A picture for Mom. I love you. Challenges she faces. P.S. She always overcomes them. Mom. Just thought of that. A stem so strong can only a stem so strong can hold a bud so beautiful. So, there was something that happened the other day when I was looking into one of the missing children cases I was looking into about Melissa Diane McGinn. She was taken in 1988, February of 1988. She was born in August of 1987. She's a Leo. And on the radio, after I was spending all day looking into all these different cases, on the radio, it was getting ready to play a song, and there was like the beginning portion of the music playing leading up to the song. And in the background, it was like almost muffled out. You really didn't hear it much. So it's not like, I don't think it was an announcer on the radio or anything, but it said, Melissa, this one is for you. So there is definitely something that is getting ready to come in to help someone. Some sort of luck to bring peace, balance, and stability into their life. Some sort of blessing to support them and what they're working on. And there are those on the other side that want you to know that they see you and they are there for you. Thank you, angels of enlightenment. I appreciate it. All of these situations have happened and brought so much pain and hurt to the people who have had to deal with them or experience them. When I got home today, my oldest daughter came over so she could see the new kittens. There's one missing, the favorite one, the one that everybody wanted. There was something in that case where it was talking about the person who got rid of this child may have done it out of jealousy because she had her child at the house the day before and nobody was paying attention to it because they were all fawning over the new baby. She was mentally handicapped and she made up many different stories about what happened to the child. There was one about selling it for $200 to get drugs. There was one about throwing it in the Delaware River. There was one about some guy in a car pulling up and taking it out of her hands. She told many different stories, and they did charge her at first, but at the end of the day, they ended up dropping the charges because she was mentally handicapped, and the judge decided that she couldn't actually stand trial. So there might be some closer looks getting ready to be taken at some of these situations, and it's amazing how after everybody has given up hope, something can actually be revealed. There have been people who have found their long-lost family after 50 years. And there are those that maintained this belief that that person was not dead and they would see them again, they would find them again, whether it was on this side or the next, but that that person was not dead. And their belief and their hope and their faith will be proven true. There's a lot of people getting ready to be awakened at things that they see in the mirror too, about what is real and what is not real within themselves and within others around them. Diamond, balloons, candles, fireworks, time, pirate, sadness, and a moon. It is time for something to stop. It's time for thievery to stop. It's time for others to stop stealing, to stop taking what isn't theirs. It's time for them to stop this sadness and this pain that they've caused. It's time to shine a light on what's been going on. There could definitely be something about aliens dropping in here too. Maybe time to shine a light on where that magic's coming from. Somebody called me a half-breed recently. I really wish people would stop speaking in riddles. Somebody could definitely be very angry about the message that's getting ready to come out. It's amazing how they always try to tear down or knock down anything that's expressing truth in this world. I did a little clip earlier that I'm going to post tomorrow that has something to do with the cartel and the government, and both of them being, they're the ones with the money. Both of those teams are the ones with the money. So if they end this war on drugs, who suffers? Both of those sides do. It's amazing how much money the government makes off of the war on drugs. And it's amazing how much money the cartel makes off of the war on drugs. Both sides do. So there could be something as well getting ready to be seen and getting ready to come out about something where both sides were benefiting by keeping it quiet and attacking you to keep you from bringing the truth forward in some way. I haven't really watched the news in about 4 years, 5 years, something like that. I delve into some of the things that come across my feed, some of the things that I look up because of that, but I don't really spend a whole lot of time watching the news anymore. Oh, and look, we have these balloons again. A kid's birthday and balloons, maybe very well, because there's these candles here too. Wishes and magic could be very important. There's a lot of things that they keep hidden from us, and that's every country. Every country wants to demonize the next country because of the brainwashing going on, but there's a lot of it in our own countries. There really is. It's funny, I was talking about aliens and stuff coming out about aliens, and when I threw those back in there, that's the one that popped up here. Making people sick. Stop making people sick. You know what's really funny? We were discussing the vaccines that animals take the other day too, and I was like, my Sadie had vaccines the first 2 years we had her. That's it. None of them ever get sick. When was the last time any of you adults out there had vaccines? Because you're supposed to get them every couple of years. Yet we're not dying. There's a lot of different things that people are fighting for in the background, and there's a lot of people that like to call them conspiracy theorists. There's a lot of people that, but there are a lot of those people that are right about some of those things that are going on that we don't see behind the veil. The things that are hidden from us. The festival creates an energetic blueprint for a fantastic party or event. Triple spiral, listening to divine wisdom and joyfully learning life's lessons. Healing. True healing of the mind, body, and soul. I can understand feeling that way. But technically, they force us to do that to go to school. They force us to get our animals to have animals and to have pets. Why are we forced into that, especially if they aren't getting sick without it? Even eating rotting carcasses that are on the side of the road, they're still not getting sick without it. So there is definitely going to be a convergence. There is going to be something that happens that allows these people to be seen, that allows them to be heard, that allows their word to be spread, regardless of whether or not these people want to keep them silent or want to block what they have to say. It doesn't matter at the end of the day because they're not in charge of it. There's a lot of people on the other side of that veil that are looking to have these things exposed too, even ones who maybe participated in it in life. Good. Owl, wise seeing, wise action. Skull of flowers, creating through the ashes. Creating through the hurt and the pain and the deaths and the kidnappings and all those things that have happened in the past. Those are the things that help us to create in the future. There are definitely going to be some people that are creating new movies, creating new books, creating new stories for others to hear, for others to feel, for others to be a part of. This rain is still going on. And according to a lot of people, it was supposed to be sunny all week. They don't like what's going on. And they're ready to wash it clean. Regardless of what anybody else says or thinks about what should be happening here. That's what's happening here. The river is way deep and getting deeper. Not gonna drown in the water, 'cause the good Lord ain't bringing me home. This turbulence that they're getting caught up in, we're not gonna get caught up in it. We're not gonna get sucked down by it. So it's time to release our fears. There's gonna be a lot of recognition coming your way as well. Hard-earned, well-earned recognition and success. In this episode of Buffy where she received that umbrella was labeled the class protector. She risked everything time and again to take care of and protect a lot of people, and a lot of people who did not see her worth, her value, who didn't tell her thank you, who really weren't a part of her life or didn't really know her, but they knew of her. And in that episode, they made a show of that and let her know that she was appreciated and cared for. They recognized her value and her worth. You're freeing yourself of the chains that have held you back and stepping into your power, taking action on what it is that you feel is important to you. Embracing your dark side as well. And freeing yourself from this worldly view of what's right and what's wrong. Deciding to go your own way. I'm under your spell. 22222 is on the screen right now. 5 2s. I'm under your spell. How else could it be? Anyone would notice me. It's magic, I can tell. How you set me free, brought me out so easily. I saw the world in shadows, never the sun on my face. It didn't seem so sad though, I figured that was my place. Now I'm bathed in light, something just isn't right. Remember when you come into this that this is right and you have earned this. That this isn't somebody else's doing. This is for your own steps that you've taken. This was built off of your own hard work, your persistence, your dedications, your faith, or your dedication and your faith, your commitment to doing what you felt was right and to bringing things out into the open regardless of what anybody thought about that. There could even be somebody here as well that is awakening to their sexuality. Or could be fighting for others to be able to stand in the light in their sexuality, in their beliefs, in who they love or who you love. There's a lot of awakenings being had at this time. And these awakenings are happening because the tight hold of black magic that has been poured over all of us for so long, however you see that black magic, the manipulations, the subconscious nudges, the brainwashing, the manipulation and deceit, all of that stuff is falling away now. And we will be able to see it clearly, to see it truthfully. What has been going on and what has been hidden from us, especially our own power. The power that they told us we didn't have. The power that they started out initially telling us was evil. And they started out destroying it. They started out stomping on it and killing it off. And then after that, they moved to, it's not real. None of it's real. Don't believe any of it because it's not real. You have no power. No one has any power. And now it's moving into everyone has power and they're starting to realize it. And some of them are pretty pissed off that these people have hidden it from them this whole time. Taken it from them. And used their own power to hold them down in that hole. You may also not be seeing your worth or value simply because you don't have a whole lot of resources. Buffy didn't have a whole lot of resources. In fact, she actually, when she did have a job for a little while, she worked at a fast food place. And then, you know, she had a hard time paying her bills, things like that. At the end of it, it didn't even matter because, you know, there was nobody even left in the town except for the people that were there fighting the forces of darkness, which was her and her friends. But after everything that they went through at the end of that, they actually ended up in a pretty high prestigious place, working with some pretty powerful people to do the same thing they had been doing for a very long time. So I feel like a lot of these awakenings that are happening right now are leading into something amazing for you. Even if it doesn't look that way right now, sometimes the biggest blessings are the ones that are disguised as darkness or despair. There was a magpie in front of my trailer today. My daughter's like, I love the magpies, but Grandma hates them because she says they're really annoying. And all they do is hang out all over the house. And I was like, well, magpies are supposed to be a good omen of good things to come. And she's like, doesn't really seem that way because there's just a lot of bad going on right now. And there's a whole bunch of them there. So there should be lots of good. And I was like, sometimes some of the worst things end up being some of the best things. Because they're just a blessing in disguise. And she's like, huh, that can be true, I guess. And that was all right after we found that kitten missing. Could have been that she passed away and the mom and the mom cat got rid of her or something like that, but I really highly doubt it because none of them were sickly at all. But if there is a sickly one or one that dies, the mom cat will actually usually eat them to absorb their nutrients and all that kind of stuff. And it helps her to give that back to the other kids that are still there. So we have this dragon, leadership. Leadership is changing, shifting. People are starting to understand what makes a good leader a bit more as well. The way people see those things is shifting and changing. More money, same problems. Less money, same problems. Money is not the biggest problem of the world. Granted, it can be a very big problem when you don't have it. But it can be a very big problem when you do have it too. So the way that you see money may be something that actually is shifting and changing too. You might be awakening to some of those things. When it comes to a lot of people who have a lot of money, they hoard it. Kind of like a dragon will hoard over its pile of gold in a lot of the books. What's funny is when people go through a time period of having not much money, like J.K. Rowling, when she wrote Harry Potter, she was actually living on the street while she wrote that book. She gives a lot of her money away, a lot of it, to help people. She uses her position of power for a very good thing. But would she have been the same person as that leader if she wouldn't have went through what she went through? No, she wouldn't have been. And it starts out with so much hate, it's hard to see. And then it morphs into different things. To feeling protected, guided, watched over. Feeling like all of your needs will be met in doing what you're doing. Your fear over doing the things you're doing. There's a lot of people getting ready to expose a lot of things that have been going on. And a lot of these people, either in this lifetime or past lifetimes, have been persecuted for the beliefs they have or for the gifts they possess. So much hate, it's hard to see. These things are being exposed again. These things are being brought to the surface again. Being seen again. And the stories of the past are helping us to not make the same mistakes we've made in the past. It's time now to let the fear subside and fall away so that we can follow a new path and make a new choice today. Look at that too. More money. The people who were on the Titanic, they had a lot of money, didn't they? Didn't keep them alive. That boat still sank, and they were still on it. Some of them stayed alive, but a lot of them didn't. Cold days. Stirring up success. So, a lot of people are going to be being freed from these strictures and these regulations. A lot of people are going to be being freed from the silence of others. There's a lot of people that are getting ready to speak truth, to put things out there. From zombiehood. I believe and I receive. Opening up and expressing what they have within. Believing in it. Somebody may be going through a lot right now. There could be financial abuse. There could be cultural issues for why somebody can't move away from something. There could be a lot of different reasons why people keep their silence during times like that. Now we sound the drums of war. Savages, savages, barely even human. Savages, savages, killers at the core. They're different from us, and so they must be evil. Now we sound the drums of war. There was one person out of everybody there, one, who stood up for what was right, who threw her life on the line and decided this wasn't the way things were going to be. Do you think she wasn't scared? Because she was. Do you think she wanted to die? Because she probably didn't. But she also was sick of that. Sick of the discrimination. Sick of the attacking. Sick of the dis-ease. Spreading among everybody. Bringing hate and fear and division. Instead of bringing everybody together. Breaking out of that shell. It's time to break out of that shell. Time for transformation. Transformation through the fire. Through water. Earth and air. Time to see the path. And to know that this path was never meant to be straight and perfect and easy, but it was meant to be twisting and winding and hard. Because if it wasn't, it wouldn't have got you where you are now. There could definitely be something about a fountain again, too. Fish. Oh, and what's funny, fish, and Pisces comes out right afterwards. Imagination. Belief in magic. Emotions, expressing our emotions, not keeping them held back. They've been... A robotic world is not the world we want. Where nobody has emotions or feelings about anything. Where nobody expresses anything. Where nobody talks about anything. People may be awakening to how much they have held back and how much they have not expressed. How much they've not left behind for those that they love to find. Or for them to understand. Because of fear of persecution. Do you know how much wisdom and knowledge was lost throughout the last couple thousand years because of the fact that anybody who spoke up about any of it was killed? But people are awakening to this and they're breaking free of it. They're awakening to the love as well. Hired an agent. Agent 47, failed hit, dirty cops, secret feds, phones hacked, undercover, accidentally. So, accidentally, undercover. Somebody could have exposed some things too. Somebody could have freed some things. Somebody's wisdom is leading towards things being exposed. Towards changes and transformations. There's going to be a lot of growth coming up for you. There's going to be a lot coming out. People have failed in attacking you. People have not been successful in attacking you, whether it be physically or spiritually. There could definitely be something to do with music and nature as well. Nature's song. Stop giving in to greed. Her heart beat beneath our feet. Heart beat beneath our feet. Mother Earth by Carlene. Really good song. Angel and devil all rolled into one. Every person on this planet is both. Of course, they want us to believe that there are good people and bad people. And it's a war constantly between evil and good. Maybe inside of ourselves, yeah. There's both found everywhere. Everywhere you look. There's good sometimes found in the most awful, horrible, disgusting looking places where if you look underneath, wow, holy shit, there's a lot of good here. And then in some of the most perfect, beautiful, wish come true looking spaces, you can look underneath and there's a lot of evil going on there. There is definitely going to be a lot being exposed and seen, especially in dealing with the war on drugs, sex trafficking, human trafficking in general, things like that. Breaking bad habits, self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. Spirit, heavenly assistance from your angels and your guides. Insight, opens the third eye and strengthens intuition. Hi, Brittany. Nice to see you. I just looked up at the top of my screen and there was 5 2s again, and then it switched to 5 for one of the 2s. All of these transformations, these changes, these shifts that are going on right now, the hardship that people might be enduring, the experiences you might be having, all of these things are to help you to learn how to make peace, to learn how to connect, to learn how to have these friendships and these intimate connections with people. And also so that you can see and understand and connect with your intuition more fully instead of denying it. So that you will believe in that connection too, regardless of what anybody else wants to tell you to believe. So that you will no longer be feeling like you're crazy. So that you'll no longer be feeling like anything outside of you has control over you, like they've told you time and time again, because it doesn't. Perseverance, the motivation to keep going despite the odds. And a lot of you, there's definitely been a lot of spiritual assistance on the front of not giving up, on the drive to keep going, on the motivation to keep going. Little tiny signs and synchronicities popping up at exactly the right moment to remind you why you're doing what you're doing. Because a lot of you are leading this charge on exposing these things. But that also requires you to lean into faith and to not give into fear. To stand strong with courage in the face of those people who may have a lot of power, who have been doing not so good things for a very long time with that power, that you may just be waking up from and realizing and noticing what's been going on. Kind of like Riley. In this picture, this is Riley. Riley was working for the government, capturing all of the different creatures and locking them up so that they can do experiments on them and things like that. And actually, he was working for the guys that were making things a lot worse. When he first found that out, he kind of lost his shit a little bit. But because of the people around him, he was able to come back as well. Also, he was being controlled as well through some sort of drugs that they were giving him unknowingly. Deciding to go after your inspiration, to follow your passion, deciding to take a different path may be something that you're awakening to as well. Seeing how fear has caused you not to accept some of the beauty in front of you or not to see it may be something that you might be waking up to as well. Could even be to not accept money for some of you. Money, stability, independence, freedom. Could have also been causing you to not see some of the areas where you could have been holding back and not giving when you could have been. And that goes back to the roots. What did they teach us was bad when we were younger? What did they teach us wasn't okay? What did they teach us to stay away from? Because they may have been lying. And it may be time now to go out and check those things out yourself instead of letting other people tell you what those things are. Zombie, control. Spider, community and web weaving. Apple, risk and reward. So what are we awakening to at this moment? The control, the power that others have had over us and what we thought was good and what wasn't good. The decisions we made, the actions we took, the fears we had. Especially when it comes to branching out and meeting other people, talking with other people, getting to know other people. But that risk will bring a reward. That risk you take to go after knowledge, to go after understanding, to learn for yourself, is something that keeps you from being controlled by others. That curiosity that everyone wants to tell you killed the cat. Fuck, my cat is so curious and yet she's still alive. I'm so curious that I should have died long before that cat and yet I'm still alive. But I'm uncovering and I'm burying things that they wanted hidden. How do you do that? By convincing people that it's bad to go looking. That knowledge is bad, that wisdom is bad, that understanding is bad. That connecting to others outside, oh, that's bad. It's funny. Doing the DoorDash thing, it's amazing how many people, over the last month and a half or so, I think I have seen 3 people during doing that. Maybe 4. Everybody else stays behind their closed door until long after you left. If I had my food sitting outside, I sure as hell wouldn't want it to be getting cold. But then again, with COVID happening a couple years ago and everybody being closed off from everybody being made afraid of connecting to people, talking to people, interacting with people, that fear-mongering, that division, that hate, all of it. It doesn't matter what it is involving, whether it involves race, whether it involves drugs, whether it involves money, it doesn't matter what the hell it involves. All of those things are illusions that are pushed on us to keep us from exploring and expanding, to keep us from uncovering the secrets that are buried. Awin, 3 rays of light, balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. Balancing those masculine and feminine energies is going to bring peace and harmony too. They really don't want us to do that either. That's one of the big things they don't want us to do. The labels that they've placed on us are ridiculous. And now it's time for that peace and harmony to come shining through. Felix Felicitas, power symbol to create lucky and serendipitous events. We're awakening at this moment to our power, to what we have inside of us, to how strong we are, to how wise we are, 4422, to how we know what's best for us, far more than anybody else knows what's best for us. The sun, golden energy of the sun brings fame and fortune. These things being exposed is going to shine a lot of light on you. And you may have been taught throughout your life that that's a bad thing, to have people looking at you, to have people know who you are, to have people seeing you, 4455. But that's changing. That's transformed. You're ready to celebrate. You're ready to recognize. You're ready to be recognized. You have fixed your foundation, and you are no longer fearing what others may see if they see you, or what may happen if you're in the spotlight. A lot of you may have been really, there could have been a lot of things and people and situations working against you in some way to keep you quiet, to keep you hidden, to keep you silent. But these things are being exposed. As we all grab a hold of our power and we level up, these things are being exposed. These things are being seen. They're being heard. They're being acknowledged. 4545. Wishes come true. Rapid achievement of your dreams and your wishes. Rapid achievement of your goals. With that light shining on you, you can make a bigger impact in this world. You can have people listening, seeing, and understanding the messages that you have to bring. But what better way to keep you from being able to bring those messages than to cause you to fear that? Triple moon, embracing all aspects of yourself, the divine and the earthly. Some of you may have even been fearing some of your own skeletons coming out of the closet, or things you've done in the past being seen. As you accept yourself and others as the beings that we are, both the good and the bad, both the shadow and the light, both the masculine and the feminine, it creates balance, peace, and harmony in all of the lives around us. It gets us off of that system of division, hate, fear. And it gets us all working together and seeing that we are all working for the same thing at the end of the day. There's going to be an awakening that is going to be had through a lot of you. Look at all the awakenings that have been had from the rest of the people that have done things like that. 3322. Hi, Tori. Nice to see you. Look at all the awakenings that have happened because of other people who have came before you and walked in those shoes, who have put themselves out there to be seen and heard, who have put their lives on display, regardless of fear. Some of them have dealt with a lot of fucked up things because their lives are so open and seen. But at the end of the day, they knew that was the best way to get their stories out there. Was to be seen, was to be heard, was to be felt, was to be known. And the awakenings that we're having now are coming from that last generation who left them behind for us to see. And then we're going to take these stories and we're going to leave them behind for others to see as well. For others to grow from. So, thank you so much to my guides, my ancestors, for being with me throughout this reading. Thank you for bringing us the answers we need to see and helping us find them when we do. And thank you to all of you for all the support you send my way every day. Liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, purchasing, donating, all of that stuff is so appreciated. Thank you guys so much. And let's see what else we have coming in. There's the fountain again. Who are you? Who am I? What are we doing? Stop sign. There may be some pauses and some delays. There may be some moments that come up where you're kind of forced to stop for a minute and take a look around you. Look within you, a look without you. Wink, wink, and bestie. No more. Stop. No more. No more answering some sort of call in favor of another call. Clearly seeing deep inside of yourself. Your hard work is allowing you the chance to be able to free yourself and to go forward. To be able to find peace. There's a lot being exposed at this time that has to do with who you are inside. Who I am inside. Animals. The love you have for animals. The love you have for nature and the beauty around you. Gemini. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Clown downtown. So some of the awakenings that are going to be happening too is people are going to start seeing and realizing some of the people that have been just total clowns in the way they've behaved or acted. Some of the confusion that's been spread about you, the chaos and the drama that's been spread about you. There's only so much time left for somebody to expose something too. There's a fountain again. The fountain of youth is coming to mind right now too. Which is funny because it kind of did over here too. Now the hearts from Once Upon a Time is coming to mind now too. The hearts where she could steal their hearts and control them. Or end them. Or those things about, like, you know, being able to take the youth and beauty of someone. Or Snow White. Snow White is coming to mind very strongly too. Strange feelings and foreign thoughts. The moments in our life where our hormones change is something big too. There's a lot of different time periods where our hormones change and shift. When we go into puberty, when we have a child, when we go into menopause. As men too. Men have a period every month too. It's just different than ours. It's actually been scientifically proven that they have hormone fluctuations every month in the same way. Somebody may be having a lot of new feelings about certain things too. Where in the past, maybe there's certain things that you wouldn't have done, 4422, that now you're ready to do, or that you have done. Or there could be some things that you have done in the past that you're ready to let go of and shift and change or transform. Natural meds. Can't hide. Public forum. Secrets exposed. All is seen. 411. Hidden info coming out. So all this stuff that has been hidden is coming out to the surface. The ways in which people have done things, or the hatred certain people have had towards you as well. The gossiping or the gang stalking, the reasons behind those things People are ready to awaken too. It's only a matter of time before everyone wakes up to what's been going on, to the lies, before everything's exposed. Pop goes the question. Could be something to do with a ring as well. Missing. And 411. There is a series called 411 that has to do with missing people as well. Idaho and Oregon and Florida. Some of the top places for people to go missing. Somebody may be ready to walk away from certain situations or certain people. Or maybe in the past you walked away from certain situations or people, even if it caused you a lot of pain. And you may be ready now to try harder to mend or fix situations. Uh-oh. So, it's funny that this car and this car look pretty close to the same. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. That was one of my mom's favorite songs. As teenagers, they generally have a tendency to do this too. And then to kind of delve back into their roots. Somebody might have been taken away from something as a child. Someone may have been blamed for something as a child as well. There's going to be things coming out that people don't know about things that have been said or done behind the scenes. I'm a little coconut sitting in a cocoa rut. Somebody came and stepped on me. That is why I'm cracked, you see. I'm a nut in a rut, nut rut. So the blocked, stuck, stagnant energy that people had been feeling could have been because of the attacks that were sent their way in some way. That caused them to mentally break down in some way. Caused a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of sadness, a lot of despair. Somebody may be asking somebody a question in the near future as well that could be revealing a lot of things. A lot of things may have been hidden behind walls where people swept things under the rug. And these things are coming out. You may be really looking for and exploring who you are, where you came from, why it's so hard to find information on that. There's a lot of people doing that right now. A lot of people trying to understand what happened. And as all of these things are revealed, all the dots and pieces are going to be connected back together. Eight of Pentacles. So in this moment, it goes into like a training montage in the show. And he starts singing, "You're not ready for the world outside. I wish I could say the right words and take you by the hand. Wish I could stay. You're stalwart, standing fast, but I I'm standing in the way. So, my comments aren't working again, and I hope that it actually is still recording like it says it is. But it may not be. Either way, the hard work that you've been doing to enhance your skills. You're amazing in your skills, but you may not be seeing it because of other people around you. You may not be seeing your worth or your value. I just realized that I could actually turn on the flash on here, so I can actually have light during my reading. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that. So anyway, there may be somebody that feels like they have to stop giving in some way to you so that you can come into this yourself, because they feel like you're not going to find the answers unless they do that. Or vice versa, it could be you that needs to do that as well. Page of Cups to Two of Cups. Somebody may want to apologize and reconnect in a friendship as well. They may want to apologize for some of the things that they've done that they don't necessarily feel like are right. They may want to